Yeah, boy.
Hey guys, welcome back to another shenanigans video with Outward Mods. Today we're checking out the Minimap mod created by Sinai. This mod does exactly what it sounds like it does. You get a minimap. I originally thought this was going to be for only dungeons, but no, even in the open world, you have this map in the top right corner of your screen. Enemies will show up as red markers, gatherables will show up as purple markers, and you will show up as a green marker. Initially, you'll probably hate the minimap because it's much too zoomed out, and even by pressing shift and the arrow keys, it does not zoom in enough to be usable. However, as long as you have the Outward Configuration Manager by Mafino, you can mess around with this mod and make it suited just for you. All I needed to do was decrease the extra outdoor zoom out. This zooms in the map a lot and actually allows you to see what icons are what. In order to test out this mod, I went into one of the most iconic caves in Outward, Blister Burrow. Once inside a cave, you may notice your entire minimap is green or all dark. Because the open world and dungeons are a bit different, you need to zoom out. After doing so, you have a standard minimap. It doesn't do anything crazy, no, but just lets you see where enemies are at and where you can gather materials you might otherwise miss. One other cool thing about this mod is it works on levels. So say a dungeon has 2 floors connected by a ramp. As you go down said ramp, the floor you're leaving will begin to fade out while the floor you are entering will open up. This gives you a pretty good idea of what is on each floor and makes the map a little less confusing. As a major fan of FPS games back in the day, I kind of enjoy staring at the corner of my screen. Halo was once my bread and butter, and I remember staring solely at the radar circle to locate enemies. Good times. For something more similar to Outward, we have Torchlight 2, an RPG where you have a mini-map, and as you clear the game, that mini-map gets cleared as well. And this is one of the major appeals of an RPG like Torchlight or even Diablo. You want to uncover all the dark spots on your map because it makes you feel like you completed that area entirely and never need to come back there. One dark spot left uncovered and you never really know what was there. Could have been enemies, could have been treasure. And more likely it was nothing, but that will always be in the back of your head. Minimaps offer a pretty nice reward system for exploration, and they often add a lot to a game. Unfortunately, this minimap does not add that sort of accomplishment. The dungeons are all pretty much fully viewed on the map unless there are different levels. You don't really have any need to look at the minimap except that it's fun and cool to have. I will admit that looking at Blister Burrow or the Montcalm Bandit camp from above is neat. Seeing all the details in a different view adds a bit of variety. So at the end of the day, what do I think of this mod? It's fun. Very fun indeed. You know exactly where enemies are at, even if they're around corners, and have a harder time missing loot because it's shown to you in large purple icons. But is this something you need? No, absolutely not. It adds very little to the game, and unless you really want a minimap, it's not worth it. I could see how this might be fun for a newer player, but then again, newer players will and probably should play the game without mods at least once. Nothing against the mod though. Sinai did a great job with this and it's pretty cool. In fact, I may use it for a while just to check it out in other caves, but it's not really game changing or anything like that. Hopefully you enjoyed this little display of the Outward Minimap mod. There isn't much to say about it because, well, it's a minimap. Kind of self-explanatory. Even though I don't think this is that crazy of a mod, I will say it's nice to have options. There are enough mods in Outward that even if you don't add in new trainers or armors, you can still modify it to give you a different experience. If you're like me, this mod will make you stare at the minimap 100% of the time, which I will say was different. Consider commenting down below what you think of this mod. Would you use it? I like the idea and think if you combine other mods on top of this one, you could have an epic modded experience. Thanks for watching the video, and I'll catch you in the next one.